you could Gatling into down dust, which was never possible before. You always had to do like that. So now, if you're an older Johnny player and you haven't noticed, yeah, 2P goes into 2 dust. During certain situations, it's a good anti-air. It's a good anti-air for like low IADs. 5P is actually it's a little bit better when it comes to hit stun, because now you could do into hard slash, which was never done before. But he needs it in this game. He actually does. But it's more for cross-ups in situations like that. So like, let's say you're in a situation where a person tries to jump in on you. When they try to jump in, let's say, like if they try to jump in, like you can 6P, but if you 5P, you might be able to like stop them anyway. If you're trying to do 6P anyway. So when you're doing 5P, it kind of checks them if they cross over you. So just to keep that in mind, when they're coming out of a tech, a lot of times you want to go for 6P and things like that. But if they're teching around you over your head, 5P is really good overall to stop them. Other than that, it's really not that strong of a button. It's one of his weaker buttons, honestly. But, you know, everything has its uses. 6P is jump cancelable, amazing anti-air, above the knee invincible in the later parts of the move. So around his knees is where things can pass through. And actually, you can even go through fireballs and things of the sort. It stops a lot of horizontal buttons too. So even in footsie situations, it's really strong. You can stop a lot of good, really good buttons with 6P. And also, if they try to like do like cross-ups and stuff like that, 6P is really strong. And that's what I was talking about with 5P also, because it'll tag them anyway. So that's one thing. But it's good for OS throw. So OS throw. 2K, good for stuffing lows. It's really strong, and it's a little bit further than other people's 2Ks. Like, it's probably one of the further 2Ks in the game. $5K is super strong. I use it all the time, especially because it has like little to no recovery. That's one of the things that makes it ridiculous. The kick is actually way higher than that. So like, anti-airing people with 5K is actually very realistic. It's good for like going over lows. So that is something like you want to put into practice, especially when you're dealing with a footsie situation. To go over lows with the 5K, and it's jump cancelable. So that is a big deal, especially for him, because not very much of his far pokes are jump cancelable. Anytime there's a jump cancelable move or normal in his repertoire, you can always do that or that. So if you don't you gotta make him fair. His high-low game is limited, but it's very strong at that point, because to react is really hard. 6K is something that everyone abuses in this game. It's very good for wire seeing. It's really good for like getting in close. I like dash wire see also, but 6K is just stronger. So if you want to keep pressure, if they're too far away and you just want to get back in, 6K is where you go to keep it going. The thing that's really good about this, even though it's not special cancelable, is +2. So even with this being +2, it really works in your favor, especially with, you know, people mashing and things of the sort. 6K, and then if you do 5K I believe is about 6 frames, so that's about 4 frames. Most people don't have buttons that good. Worst case scenario, you trade and you'll be just fine. It's -2 on instant block, so people who try to defend against it, just instant block it. You should be out of the situation, unless the Johnny player is fast enough to deal with it. There's a bit of pushback, so there's no trying to mash throw afterwards, even though it's -2. It's good for frame traps. The counter hit part of it is really strong. It's good to throw out every once in a while because counter hit is ridiculous. It's good for extending combos, especially. So, like, let's say give you, like, you know, if you're too far with this, you could just make that work for you. Close slash is +3. So in block strings, that's really good, and it's one of the best OS throws. So if you're going for a throw, go with slash. Go with the slash, because the worst case scenario, you get that, and then you're +3. So it doesn't matter, like, what's the worst that can happen from that situation. Anytime I do slash, I do forward, like you see in the top left, slash, I do forward hard slash, always, because worst case scenario, let's say you're too far out. So let's say it's a situation where it's like this, right? And you do forward hard slash, nothing's gonna happen. But if you're too far out, you always get the 6 hard slash every time. So 6 hard slash, 6 hard slash. It'll always come out. So you don't have to guess how far you are. You just know it's gonna work. Especially if they're crouching, because that makes a lot of problems. Far slash. Far slash is one of his staples. One thing about this move, it has no vertical hitbox. Like, above that sword, there's like almost nothing. So to hit anything after that is like nonsensical. But it hits very low to the ground than it did before. So like characters like Milia and Soul used to be able to like run right under it. Now they can't, which is awesome. It goes into 2 hard slash all the time, which is like ridiculous, especially for air confirms. Always keep that in mind. I'm going to be using it for, let's say, situations where you are trying to punish a burst. Far slash goes into 2 slash. That's really good, especially for whiff punishing. Two slash is like ridiculous in this game. One reason why is not only because it's just far, it's way farther than it's ever been, but also on counter hit it goes into level 1 misdefined. It goes into 2 hard slash on crouchers, which is great. A lot of times people will go with the far slash, but sometimes they get beat out, and that's okay. That's happened to every button. 2 slash beats a lot of the buttons that far slash won't beat, and vice versa actually too. So if you're having a problem using 2 slash, you can use far slash to compensate for that situation. Basic case, you're footsying. If you have like 50% tension, even though you don't have a coin, you still have a coin combo that you can do. Well, the one I usually do is this one. Hold on. That one works almost all the time. It works on almost everyone. Yeah, knockdown. So that makes it easier for you. 5 hard slash, really good for frame traps. It's very good at the horizontal. It wasn't so much before. It's really fast. So like. I haven't used it enough. It's way better than I choose to use it, but it's definitely strong, and plus it's a good anti-air. So the worst case scenario is you trade. The worst case scenario is you trade. So you know, use it sparingly, but it doesn't anti-air close to him though. So like. If it's really on top of you, you're gonna get hit. There's no hitbox around his head, so you're gonna get bopped if you space it wrong. So be careful. Down hard slash. It's airborne, so it's amazing for baiting out throws. This move is just retarded. I don't know. I guess they wanted to give it to him, but it's awesome. It causes stand. So if you're If you hit them, you're guaranteed to stand. It's forced to stand. Even at level 1, you could link a kick a little bit harder. You could do kick or punch, and that's about it. That's really about it at level 1. But you know, more than anything, you just hit him with the missile finder itself. It's very good, and it knocks them down. You can reset the situation. Also, you know, once you get people used to come from the air, you could and then come low, and it's way more effective than I thought it would be. Keep that in mind. Let's say you set up a situation like that. When people are jumping, you know, they'll try to jump out the mist or whatever the case may be. 2 hard slash keeps them right there. And it's only -4, which is ridiculous. I thought it would be way more negative than that, but it's really good. And everything goes into it. So 2K, 5K, everything goes into this button. It's actually ridiculous. Everything but hard slash and 6 hard slash. Talking about 6 hard slash. 6 hard slash is ridiculous. The distance that 6 hard slash holds up is actually preposterous. But it's really good. It's 18 frames. It's only 2 frames active, so if you're doing it, you're committing. If you're doing the move, you're expecting to hit them. Like, don't expect to not hit them, because you're gonna get, if they're good enough, they're gonna whiff punish the crap out of you for trying to do that. Great horizontal range, big whiff animation, beats a lot of low profile moves, surprisingly enough. But it's not amazing. It's not amazing against low profile moves. So some moves it can be really strong against, not all. He moves forward when he does it. So like some people I've heard when I fight them, when I do like something like that, they think I'm gonna dash in. So so they see the step forward and they think I'm gonna dash in, and they'll press a button, and then I'll 6 hard slash them. So that's something to keep in mind, and it definitely makes people flinch. It's a great combo starter. It's probably the best one, period. Besides that, 2 hard slash is probably one of the strongest ones also. Probably hard slash, honestly. But 6 hard slash is really good. Dust. This is probably the fastest. This Dust is slow as crap, but it's actually one of the fastest ones he's ever had. Like, he literally always had like 28 frames. Now, I'm not exactly sure how fast it is now. I think it, well, let me check right now. 26 frames. Like, it's literally the fastest it's ever been. It's not amazing, but it does the job. It's 8 frames active, which is ridiculous. He's out there for a while. And when you do it meaty on people's wake up, you're actually plus like something ridiculous. I think it's like nearly 5 or 4, something of the sort. So like doing block strings is actually pretty good. Also, when you do like hard slash, like low, you can do this a high low. It's not great. I'll be the first one to say it, but it's there. It's good to throw people off, you know, hard slash into dust, or hard slash low. Or if your miscanceling skills are really good, you know, you could do something like that. And since it's 0, afterwards you can still continue pressures. After that, you can still kick and do whatever you're doing. So throw in a 5 dust in there every once in a while, and don't be afraid to press a button afterwards. Honestly, it's really good. If it's negative though, obviously you're gonna have to pay for it. But you know, you gotta throw it out every once in a while. You know, keep people on their toes. 2D, it's good on neutral, but it has too much recovery. So I would stay away from it for neutral. 2S is a better substitute for that situation. But 2D can go into, it's the only low option from far that goes into missile finder. So that's something to keep in mind. And also it's for coins, so you know, it has no proration also. It's one of its only lows that don't have any proration on it. So it's good for combo starters. So you might as well just go for it. There's no reason not to go for it. So a lot of the Japanese, you always see them go for the down dust. There's no reason not to go for down dust. Jump punch, nothing to write home to mom about. It has a downward angle, which is a little bit better than his other buttons. A lot of his other buttons. Punch is good for stopping people in the air. So a lot of times, if they're jumping in, and you could just come in with a jump punch. But kick, just like any other kick, is just it's a downward angle, which is good. Not great, but it's good. And one of the things about it is, it's only cross up. But I think it's shit. It's really bad. Like, I think this is where his worst cross ups. He used to have all his buttons used to cross up before. Well, he needed to, but now he doesn't. But this is a bad button. Like, his cross up game is actually terrible. So you kind of have to rely on, like, to switch your momentum. You gotta do miscancel. This has no. This is all straight, like, and it's actually, they found out it's actually farther than Faust's jump hard slash, which is ridiculous. So, like, the distance you can use this button is like a little ridiculous. So using this in neutral is really important. Hard slash, very good. Down hard, yeah, this amazing button, one of his best buttons in the air. Damn near goes into the ground when it comes from the air. It's really good on counter hit because you could combo into anything from there, like, I never miss an opportunity with. It's really good. So, yeah. Jump hard slash, really good. But when you're coming in from the air, you always gotta switch it up a bit. But we'll definitely get into that in a second. The air to ground game is probably one of the strongest in the game. The fact that he can come down like that and then still combo you is really good. His down hard slash is really strong for that. Also, the fact that he can hold that and then come down with a hard slash is really strong. So, you may time your anti-air towards something, and then I can hit you on the recovery coming down. So, stopping Johnny from jumping is really hard. So that's a lot of times you'll see in Japan, even in Japanese videos, a lot of Johnnies just jump. Johnny can jump almost very willingly. Meterlessly, he can handle the situation. So, as other characters would have to do something and then YRC, then that's a real problem for them. Also, jump dust, very good. It's an amazing move. It's actually very fast. When people are teching out in the air, jump dust is really awesome. And the counter hit causes wall bounce. Very strong. It has more than enough time you can combo afterwards with it. It's something that, when you're chasing someone down in the air, jump dust is a really good answer. His movement is a big deal. Now, people don't get used to it, but it's one of his most endearing aspects. It actually makes him really good. I would hate actually playing Johnny if he didn't have a step. Because step is really strong. Step is about 13 frames before he can attack, right? So when he attacks, he needs 13 frames before he can attack after it. So let's say this is six frames, I believe. So afterwards, 6 plus 13 if you do it on the first frame. So that's 19 frames. That's not very good, right? And it's not that scary, but no matter what time during his dash he does something, he can always jump cancel. So you're not looking to a lot of times you're not exactly looking to just dash forward, but you could use it to stop them to mashing. You could just that could definitely stop them from mashing. If you put them in a position, where they're just looking for for you to move forward and get comfortable backdashing, forward dashing, One of his most important moves, and Sato, he taught me, was we call it the Sato step, but is the forward back. That you need to practice, because on the 13th frame, right, that you get there, you can move, right? So let's think about this seriously. If you 9 times out of 10, let's say if let's do a situation, right? Like level 3, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's about 12. I think it's plus 10 on block, right, for hard slash. So let's do that situation. That's plus 10, right? So by the time I get there, I'm -3, right? So I'm -3 now. So what can I do? I'm actually negative. So I'm running into someone's face negative. Now you think, oh, that's scary or whatever. Like, you know, that is kind of scary. It is kind of scary. But first off, people have to react to it. That's a big part of it. He's already in your face by the time you notice that he's coming. So it's not easy to react to 13 frames. 13 frames is not something to sneeze at. But if you do the Sato step, so let's say you put yourself in a position. So when you go back, now let's say they swung a button. Let's say they're really good and they swung a button. Unless that move hits on the 3rd frame, the only button that would do that, let's say with Soul, is his first part of his kick, which won't hit me at that range. So let's play this situation out. So he comes out and he presses a button, then he's gonna get counter hit. So even though, yes, you know, he's somewhat negative, it's not all just cut and dry as that. The fact that also he could jump cancel anything while he's dashing, I can just do burst, you know, or I could cut in between those 13 frames and just go into burst. I mean, blitz. So, you know, I could do that, you know, and, you know, they'll swing a button and then they'll get hit by a blitz. So that's something to play with, you know. The time that you take for running forward, most times you can just do this. You can just, you know, transport wherever you need to go. So, and you get meter, but you could get a lot of meter just from doing the dashes. So, quick example. You get way more meter that way. Oh, one thing about his movement also, if you want to get meter really fast, just walk forward. Just walk forward. Like, him walking forward is really good. I know it's slow, but, you know, this is not Street Fighter. You don't need to have a fast walk speed to be effective in this game. So, like, you know, especially when you approach, if you watch Korinshu's matches and stuff like that, most times he's either, like, going ham or he's walking. So, like, you want to look for when they're walking, because walking is very important. It's like, let's say you're in a situation where they're far away, they're taking advantage or doing whatever they're doing. You can just walk forward and just keep walking forward and walking backwards if you want to get meter while they're away. So that's a big part of his movement. Anti-iron for him is very good because he's one of the better characters at protecting his 9 area. So this area, most people do not have that on lock. He definitely does. So this and coin are really amazing for stopping people from coming in that way. If you watch Nakamura versus Korinshu, a lot of times you'll see him as Nakamura jumps, he's already doing this. And once you're in misstance mode, everything is 4. It's always 4 frames afterwards. So there's a 4-frame anti-air that knocks away projectiles. So that's really good. So let's say, and so let's just say this. And oh yeah, one of the biggest things is his up Misdefiner has the least amount of recovery. So when you look at it, look, see, I can do this all day. Like, it stops everything. So, but see, slower. But then slash is the slowest. So when you want to stop projectiles a lot of times, even if it's close to you, you probably want to aim for doing this one. So you can actually stop a lot of them by doing the high one. And then you'll be free to attack. It's a little bit more tricky, but it's something that I learned early and it was very helpful. It's not that easy, but it's really good. So like when you want to stop people from using projectiles and stuff like that, go for the high one because the recovery time is amazing. 6P is obviously a staple. Very important. You have to know how to do it consistently. But one of his best anti-airs, and my favorite personally, and I don't think I see Japanese or anyone else besides me do it enough, but is the coin. Coin is a ridiculously good anti-air. I can't tell you how many times I've stopped. It pays bills. I swear to God. You want people to stop jumping on you. The worst case scenario is you trade, but it's really good. And most times you can throw it out early and block. So like you can just throw it out, and the worst case scenario, you could block. You could block those situations. He recovers almost instantly, so it's really good. Like two-half slash is a good anti-air. It's a really good one. That covers the 9 area too. Like his 9, like covering the 9 area is a very rare ability that most characters are not great at. Most characters don't have that kind of control, so keep that in mind. That's very important. One of the things about space control that's really strong for him, like the most area he handles is like mid-range. Mid-range is where he lives. He's great at this range, but a lot of other characters are great at stuffing him at this range. So even though he's amazing at it, he's not infallible. So you know, you just gotta pick your moments. Don't whiff punish. Don't whiff too hard. You might, you may end up regretting it. Also on the ground, a lot of the fact that level 3 goes so far is ridiculous because it's really good for handling control. So like let's say that you're footsieing with someone. If you're at this range with level 3, you don't have to respect anything they're doing because you just whip punish, and then you can stance dash treasure hunt from this range. Like you can do it from the farthest range he has. Misdefiner, this is a very important thing. Misdefiner is good for footsies, especially with like certain buttons. No buttons beating Misdefiner, so you don't have to worry about that happening. Misdefiner is also really strong for the fact that he's leaning back. You don't realize it, but he's leaning back. Let's say you move back a little slightly, you can still get hit. But if you, right. But if you're in mid stance, you won't get hit. So you can make yourself smaller by doing mid stance in certain situations. So sometimes you'll see me backdash and I'll do this because I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. So use that when you know the spacing, or someone's DP happy and then you just back up a little bit. It's very good for footsie situations. So like if they think they're gonna hit you and they're a little too overconfident, they want to hit you at the tip of wherever you're at. Just miss out. You know, you can hit buttons. So yeah, miss canceling, very important. This is fire level 1, doesn't knock down. Though the crouching one does. Sometimes you can do that into block strings, because, you know, people are trying to leave, so they'll try to start leaving and then they'll just get tripped, and then, you know, whatever the case may be. Level 1 never used to knock people into the air. It used to just keep people standing. Now it knocks people into the air, which is ridiculous. But counter hit, it launches. So, and it's all the way. So, you know, if you're in the corner, you could, you know, you could combo off of the situation. So, you know, level 2, cause a slide. You could do all kinds of stuff off of that. You could do level 2, no matter what. You could always combo afterwards. So let's say this one. No matter what, even if it's far away, if you dash and then treasure hunt, you'll get it. If you do, the bread and butter is low. So if you do slash coin, like slash coin slash, or slash coin punch. Well, slash coin punch is completely burst safe. So anytime you do that in a combo, don't worry about it, because the moment you see them burst, just hold back, and then they'll have to hold that. You know, that's 9 times. Like, if you do slash coin punch, you're guaranteed to get it. So you let them burst, they'll give up their burst, which is great. The air ones are really good. This one always knocks down, which is awesome. So it's like the replacement of what his Divine Blade used to be. It's really good, especially in... See, like, you could cut the dash early to do this. So like, if they're mashing, this is really good. Super is super. Good angle. It's a lot stronger than it was before. It has a better angle than it did before. It hits a lot more roll profile stuff. But nearly every character has an answer for it. So if you're fighting against a Johnny or you play Johnny, you have to find an answer to hit that button. It's very few characters that can even think of punishing it. Very strong, but you definitely can easily be baited. So anytime you're baited, you know, you still, you know, because this game's so silly, you can still, you know, you can always YRC. So you have to YRC it, but YRC is still 4 frames. So during those, well, 6 frames, 4 of those frames you're still there. So you can't get stuffed. So keep that in mind. Don't get baited really bad. Stance dash treasure hunt is really important to this game now. So you have to learn how to do that like really consistently. Level 3, you can do it off of anything. You know, it's pretty easy to put into combos, especially when you don't have to like do it from a move. I would suggest you learn how to do it on level 1. If you don't know how treasure hunt works, basically when you charge it, you can go invincible, and then you get 3 hits. I mean, not invincible, but unblockable, and then you get 3 of the coins. So 3 coins plus the unblockable is really good. The only time I've seen a really good way to set it up is like off of here, you know, stuff like that. Not something that, you know, is incredibly amazing, but yeah. A lot of what I'm telling you guys, Brett has a fantastic idea. Shout outs to Brett for putting up an amazing Dust Loop wiki for everyone to see. You guys all gotta check this out. I got a lot of what I learned from Satu. Satu, he's been a great teacher for me. He, you know, great guy, and he's been, you know, he's taught me a lot of how to handle using the character. So when I tell you this, it's not, you know, I'm just throwing this out here. This is a lot of stuff I've been doing for 10 plus years, like longer than my son's been born, which is 8. So yeah, I guess now I can answer some questions that you guys may have. I would go into bread and butters, but a lot of the stuff that I would tell you is already in there. But there's a bread and butter that I think he didn't go into enough. I'm talking about Brett specifically. Is this option? Like nearly 90% of the cast gets hit by that. So you press one button to down dust, coin, and yeah, you get some good damage, and you didn't even start with coin. When it comes to defensively dealing with Johnny, a lot of what he has to do is you have to learn the game. If you want to play Johnny, you seriously have to take the game seriously. So like when I say, like, you know, a lot of people quit him because they don't take him seriously. Or why am I losing so much? And they don't know why. I'll show you why. It's because you don't know how to block. All right. Blocking properly. A lot of times I used to play pot in conjunction with Johnny because I had to learn you have to learn people's Gatlings. So pot players and Johnny players have that in common, where you have to learn people's pressure strings and things of the sort. So you know when you can backdash and when you can't, or you can instant block something and then you could backdash something and then you're in advantage now and they're not. So like in a situation like you're backed up in the corner, you could backdash in the corner, and it's a really legit idea because they'll whiff, and by the time they're whiffing, you could be punishing them right in their face. I do it all the time. It's a great tactic. Also, especially in the air, when people jump in, it's very strong to just simply you can backdash to attack and then attack them, on their landing recovery. So, I do that a lot. It's very important. Evasion is just as important as the anti-air itself. Also, if you're feeling like a lot of times if they space it too badly or whatever, and they're coming a little too much in the cross-up area, you can cross under them, which is really strong because there's literally almost no answer for that. Like, you'd have to find a button that covers all that area.